Having seen what is the thinking pattern of each of the generations, whether it is the boomer or the Gen Xers, millennials or Gen Zs, if you notice that the new generation, when I say new generation, it is typically the millennials and the Gen Zs put together. They are misunderstood a lot. Now, what do you think? What can you guess? What are this misunderstanding? What is this misunderstanding all about? Here it is. They are believed to be unfocused, lazy, entitled. Entitled means having right and certain liberties and privileges and benefits about a certain thing. They are highly narcissistic in nature. That means self-focus is very high, self-interested. But is it really true? Is it true? Unfocused? I don't think so. I find that these millennials and some of the millennials are super focused, more focused than any other generation. I'll give an example of what I mean by highly focused. As I told you that my wife is an English teacher. She had one of her students, she wanted to become a medical doctor. Okay. Now you'll understand that becoming a medical doctor today is very long hours of work, studying, and this particular girl did not have a background. I mean, nobody was a doctor in her family, but she insisted that she wants to become a doctor. And everyone tried as much as possible to not to kind of dissuade her, but show her the reality that it is going to be very difficult. And uh, she still insisted that she wanted to become a doctor. Interestingly, one of the questions asked for her is that what if you today just becoming an MBBS doctor is not enough? What if you don't get into post graduation? And you'll be surprised the answer that that little girl gave. I'm not saying that little girl, but the girl gave was that simple: get married to a doctor who has a hospital. And believe me, guys, this girl is completed her not only her MBBS, she has finished her post graduation and is going along with a doctor who has a hospital. Now look at people who are misunderstanding this generation as unfocused. I think so this story will tell you how focused these people are. Okay. The second thing that the millennials are misunderstood as being lazy. Couple of days back, a few of the Gen Xers were having a conversation, and I kind of was a part of the conversation. Most of them were, kind of, it's not a blame, but they were complaining about their children not getting up on time. Uh, and I said, hang on. If you really look at your life when you were in college, what was the time that you slept? That I can say for myself that during my college days, I never slept before 3 o'clock in the morning. And lazy. So just because they sleep a little late than what you are, or the time you get up, many of them said that the time I get up is the time they go to sleep. I said, yes, look at your life. Does that really make them lazy? Uh, in my experience, I've had, an exposure to work with millennials and to a certain extent Gen Zs, more with millennials. That I have found that they are not at all lazy. In fact, they work hard to achieve whatever they want to achieve. That's what I actually feel. So there no way are they lazy. Just because they sleep late doesn't make them lazy. I remember I was in US and my younger son, since he's a computer engineer, usually there are many times he used to work from home, and that was not the time which was in during the pandemic. So it was much before the pandemic. So whenever he had to be on the call, he used to close. He used to just get up and uh, go and be on the call. I don't think so. These people are lazy. They are quite misunderstood. They are, in fact, hardworking and they want to achieve what they want to achieve, and they're willing to put the kind of hard work. The next point is being entitled. Entitled, is this really their issue? Really look at the way uh, I would, if there is anyone responsible for them being appearing to be entitled, then it is the parents. The reason behind this is I feel that the kind of changes that have happened in the world, the kind of negativity that people have seen, uh, the millennials and the Gen Zs have been kind of given more protection over the other generations. And hence they appear because uh, when they have been protected and they have been given things, uh, not because they couldn't get it, but because of the fear of the parents that they were given things in their hands or whatever their demands were met. That is why probably they behave the way they behave, and which is misconstrued as being entitled. Narcissistic and self interested, today's generation, the new generation, is willing to stand up for themselves, and probably that's why they are considered as narcissistic and self interested. Uh, if you look at the way they operate and the cause that they work for, or their interest in, uh, creating health and wealth for everyone around, does not. I think so. These all these 5 points are not really true. That's why they are really misunderstood. That's what I feel. So, what is the reason behind this? What is the reason behind this? I think so. It's basically communication breakdown. If we try to understand the modes of communication, if we try to understand the kind of thinking that each generation has brought into because of the way they have experienced life together, probably it will be a much easier task. There won't be so friction. There wouldn't be so much of friction between each generation. Okay, so let's look at some points to remember. It is said that bad, improper, or no communication creates real problems in our life. Look at all the problems that you have, for all the issues that you face in your life. It is purely a communication breakdown. So if we improve our communication skills in between each other, I think so things will be much easier to deal with. And to add to our woe, we have great tools which mess up with our communication. I'm sure people have understood that while there is great aspects of the technology that we are moving into, it has created a lot of ruckus in the way we can mess up our communication. I'm sure there are many times you must have gone through this experience that you are very angry about a certain thing and you typed that mail, you are really angry, and in that reactive behavior you send the mail to everybody in the organization, and oh God, what the hell did I do? So we have tools to mess up our communication skills. One thing important is that all great communicators and leaders understand that each generation is motivated differently. Now, if we understand this, if we improve our communication skills, my point is that we will be able to reduce the friction, we will be able to deal with each other. That's the point that I'm trying to make in this particular video.